we'd open with a prayer. What do you think?
That sounds great. Yeah, we're here to get juicy, so let's get
We
juicy.
let's get juicy. All right, everyone. Let's just turn within for a moment and connect. This is a Godcast after all. So let's cast ourselves upon the waters and close our inner eye, open our third eye, and just breathe into this moment here and now. How grateful I am to be here with my bestie, Melissa. How grateful I am to be here with all of you. Just recognizing the infinite source of it all. I call God, source, love, beauty, infinite, expanding energy, frequency, quantum, whatever you choose to call it. We are all one. We are
Mm,
one with the one. We are united in love. And so I
mm,
just bless our time together. I know that what is said here is magnificent and is helpful and is a servant to the Almighty One. For this and
mm,
so much more, I give thanks. And we just open and expand ourselves into this time here and now, into the loving
mm.
presence. And so it is. Mm.
And so it is. Thank you so much, my beautiful sacred sister.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the Godcast. Let's
Mm.
get
Yes,
juicy.
let's. So much to juice in this life. I mean, obviously, before we jumped on, we were catching up a bit, and it's really this space is about juicing absolutely everything about life, like no matter what. There's
Yes.
always a gift that we were talking about we talk about juiciness of life. Well, this juice is the gifts of life, right? And every experience, 100%. I'm going to lay it down. 100% of everything we experience in this life holds the capacity to juice more, right? To juice
Mm.
more love, to juice more peace, to juice more prosperity, more presence, more play, more permission, whatever we are interested in juicing, right? We get to be the one, right? That
Yeah.
juices ourself. I mean, yes, it's a wonderful thing to have a beautiful sacred sister in friendship. It's a wonderful thing to have a partner, a beloved, a lover. It's a wonderful thing to have coworkers and collaborators. Yes, yes, all of that. And, we really ultimately, right, are the only
We are,
ones that
yes,
can
the
juice
responsibility.
ourselves.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
responsibility of here's a question for all of you.
Mm,
Why am I waiting for the world to show up for me?
mm,
Or where am I waiting for the world to show up for me? Be it a
right.
lover, be
Yep.
it a
I
friendship,
know that one.
be
Yeah.
it a job,
Oh, yeah.
be it like how many
Money.
money? Exactly. How are we waiting for life itself for us when ultimately we get to show up, we get to be responsible, we get to, hmm, I woke up this morning with my
Hmm.
mind centered on loving myself. I was journaling
Hmm.
how much I love myself and going into the details of each and every crevice and
Wow.
every wrinkle and every,
Hmm.
even the space and place of being home for 4 weeks and
Wow.
this deep dive of I can't even call it an illness anymore. It's more of a revelation if I were
Wow.
to juice it,
I love that.
the revelation of the introspective time and what I'm learning about
Hmm.
myself. It's so juicy, for lack of a better word.
That is so a revelation. I love that. I mean, can you imagine, everyone in all 8.4 billion people, if they had quote unquote sickness or an illness or they broke something or whatever it was and had them be more insular, more
Yeah.
maybe on bed rest or they needed to rest. They couldn't move around the way that they normally like to. And they viewed it as, wow, what a revelation. It's a
You know
juicy
that
word, just the word revelation. Wow,
I
sounds
know.
really big. So what have your, I mean, not only did you go from being, in this revelation with what pneumonia and strep for
Yes.
4 weeks, just to talk specifics, and then Maui had
Oh
potentially one of the
yeah.
biggest storms she's ever had, and you rode that as well. So yeah, just share with us what the revelations have been. I would love to
Oh
hear.
my gosh. Well, I wanted to share because I know you and I are such animal lovers, and
Oh yes.
um, I part of this journey has been so interesting because when you're in the thick of feeling not well in your body,
Yeah.
the introspection is a little bit more difficult because you're working with all the parts of the body that are suffering, if you will.
That are
And
crying out
then
for your attention,
yeah,
right?
lots of sleep, lots
Crying for
of
love. Yeah.
yeah. And then coming through where I'm now at that place where I do have some energy to play with.
I can
And
feel it.
I'm
Feels
working,
juicy.
it's very juicy, yes. And I'm still working on the slow and go because it's not my, mm, what the usual frequency is, where I'm just like ready to
Mm,
go, right? And
yeah.
so what I'm learning about this particular portion is, what's the rush? Like
Let's just
really,
take a
why
deep
am,
breath into that. Not to
yeah,
interrupt you, but like, let
yeah.
us all
What's the
take a
rush?
collective sisterhood, brotherhood breath into that. Like breathing in, imagine living our lives where we're like, what's the
Mm,
rush? I'm infinite. I have
yeah,
infinite time.
exactly. Infinite
Wow.
time, and there's no pressure. And
Mhm.
looking at all those ways, looking at yourself as a mirror, and those thought processes that say, I must be doing something, or I must be doing something wrong.
Oh, yeah. I know them both very intimately.
Right? Like, oh,
Yeah.
why am I not getting well faster? Like I was
Oh,
pressuring myself. Like, wait a second, I'm doing everything right. Why am I still here?
mm,
And then, when you have a partner that's like, what? You're still sick?
yeah.
And and then hearing it from a concern, really, because he's like, I'm not pressuring you. I'm just so sad that you're still going through this.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, but I can also say I'm still learning something here. Let's pay
Mm.
attention to what is to
And
be learned.
receiving, right? Like learning, yes, and receiving. Like, again, what are the gifts? What are the revelations? What
Yeah,
what what juices are flowing now that I've slowed down a bit, I can actually hear or I can feel
yeah,
or I
yeah.
can experience that I couldn't when I was going maybe a million miles an hour, for
Yeah.
example.
So here's the revelation, a huge one of
Yeah, do tell.
underneath all of this, I recognize a very deep loss and a very deep grief
Mm,
that needs to be felt that I didn't really want to feel.
yeah.
And it goes so deep and wide when I really just kind of go into it as if I'm walking through a tunnel looking and observing, like, oh. So there's a collective grief about
Oh, yeah.
being a woman
Yeah.
in this time and witnessing all the collective grief that we as women are seeing and
Mm,
feeling
mm,
for other women,
yeah.
even women we don't even know, but it's being broadcast. The energy is out there on the news and in the social media. And I didn't realize how deep it was impacting me on
Yeah.
a
Well,
cellular
as an
level.
empath, right? Where,
Yeah,
we feel most women, if you haven't busied yourself so much, if you are available to feel, right? We're feeling this.
yeah, yeah. And then when the weather is doing what the weather's doing, right? And people are impacted and water's coming into their home and feeling the expansion of that, right? So I see it as an expansion, like deeper breath, right? Like
Mm,
when we're
mm,
birthing as women, like being a woman who has actually birthed two beings, there's such
Mm.
a breath that you have never breathed before. Like, can we
Mm.
allow ourselves to breathe so deeply instead of holding our breath, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay, let's bear down. We have to hold our breath to be able to
Mm.
go into it's like, no, can we
Suppression,
expand? Can we expand
suppressing,
the breath?
stuffing things down.
Yeah. And I recognize how much and how often I do that still, as
Mm.
aware as I can be, and spiritual as I am, and connected to source as I am. Wow, when it comes to relating,
Mm.
I'm getting to look at those places in my belly, in my
Mm.
yoni, if you will, in my root chakra,
Yeah.
I'm feeling shaken like
Mm.
an earthquake, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, here's our opportunity, sisters, to grow wider into our own personal yes. Why
Mm.
we came here to the planet is so important and imperative for
Yeah.
us to wake up and also to be held by each other, to learn
Yeah.
how to hold each other. I was talking
Mm.
to a dear sister of ours yesterday, and the conversation was, I didn't want to reach out and burden anyone.
Mm. Right. Oh, I have felt that so many times in my life. I mean, and let's continue that thread. And it just reminds me too, I remember my dad felt that way. My
Yeah.
dad didn't want to contact anybody for anything. And I would say, Hey, Dad, can we contact your friend Dick? Because I'd like to interview him around business. Dick owned a company called Hardtail, which is yoga gear. And I was kind of in the market for a mentor. And my dad's like, Oh, no, no, honey, we can't burden, we can't bother. I thought, oh, okay, that's where I get that from. So
Yeah.
also continuing on this, how much have we inherited
Right.
in these ways that are not actually
Yeah.
ours? They're not even authentic or
Right.
true to us, like that. Because I would be so honored to have any of my
Right.
sisters contact me and say, I am feeling this fucking deeply right now. Will
Yeah.
you hold me? Will you allow me to express and to emote and to feel everything that I know is here? Oh
Mm.
my God, yes. What my greatest honor. So
It is an honor, isn't it? I was saying
it
that to
is.
our friend. I said, um, my intention for this Godcast, one of them is for there to be an opportunity for us to open to the community of sisterhood, to learn how to really be a sisterhood.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
uh, we get to be responsible for that. That part of us that doesn't open up to being vulnerable because we're afraid of what? Maybe either being judged or not
Oh
being
yeah.
met,
Yep.
right?
Rejected,
Right? To not
kicked
being met,
out,
like,
not
yeah,
belonging. Yeah. Being
so
told
this
to
is an
go away.
opportunity. Yeah.
Exile. I mean, it gets really deep in
Oh,
all that we've
yeah.
experienced. I mean, I know that, yeah, I've experienced in those things just in this lifetime, let alone, I believe in past lives. So, um, yeah, to feel that, I mean, to put oneself out there and be vulnerable and still be told, you need to go, because you believe something different
Right.
or you experience something different or you want something different. But to me, that's a travesty.
It is. Well, and we're rewounding
Yeah.
that childhood wound, right? So we
Oh,
are the ones that are doing it to ourselves where our attachment needs, right, which come in the first 5 years of our life, right, and who we attach to or how we attach, and some become avoidant and some
mm,
become anxious attached, right, because we're not
yeah.
getting met fully in the loving space for whatever reason, not to blame anyone. How many mothers are trying to teach their children, I need you to be tough so that nobody can hurt you, right? So that was my mom, bless her heart.
Mhm. Mm,
She was modeling I need you to be able to survive. And so in order to survive, you're going to need to toughen up and pretty much put armor on,
Mm,
and definitely don't trust women. And
wow.
here we are, women in our
Mm,
true essence, in our true nature, are the best to be
mm,
able to fall in love with, to fall into in the
mm,
loving. Like we
yeah.
have the capacity as mothers, aunties, grandmothers, sisters in
Mm,
our pure essence.
yeah.
We're the ones we've been waiting for.
Absolutely. Amen. Amen to that. I mean, a couple of things is so many of us were thrust into survival, right? Just trying to survive this life. But again, to me, what another travesty, because that's really, we're missing so much when we're in survival mode, and another aspect of that, I was just with some dear friends, and journeying together. And we said, so many of us felt kind of that lacking, of full on, full out encouragement as a young one in those first 5 years, right? Like you can do anything, you can have anything, you can be anything.
Right.
And there's no fault or blame whatsoever, whether it was parental, whether it was a friend, whether it's society or religion. Everybody was just kind of going into layers of protection and wanting to keep us safe from maybe getting our hopes and dreams too high. And what if that doesn't happen, or, whatever the storyline is. But what would it feel like for us to all radically reflect encouragement and each other's heart and soul to each other?
Right,
Right.
right. And it's interesting is your success, I can share the juice of that
Yeah.
instead of contracting and making it be about me. Like,
Yeah.
right. So I think this is where the immature parts of us are still needing to grow up a little bit, as
Oh,
nothing ever takes away from anything else. That energy is
exactly.
just expanding and creating and becoming more. So by you flying
Mm. As I do.
as you do, I can jump into your tailwind and be inspired, which
Yeah.
I am.
Oh.
And as you inhale and exhale into your bravery, into your
Mm.
self-actualizing, into your self-realizing who
Mm.
you are,
Yeah.
right? Because that's kind of what we're doing on this journey is, oh my gosh,
Hmm.
look at who I am,
Hmm.
right? Inside out, I'm recognizing, oh my gosh, look at how brave I am. Look at this
Hmm.
is, I'm birthing myself. I'm coming into myself at
Totally.
57 years old. I think that's what I am. Yeah,
You are.
I think at
I am
57.
too.
And I'm like, oh my God. And then we
Hmm.
reflect each other like, yes, you are a sweet being.
Exactly. And that's how we be together now. That's how we play together now. And, it's just, I remember so much of my life, again, being in more of the insecure state, right? Like, am I really good enough? Or am I too much? Or am I not enough? Or
Right.
am I? And so much of that has lifted and shifted out and doesn't even exist anymore. And then it's given us this kind of playground where we can show up and trust that whatever's coming through us is going to be absolutely perfect, and reflecting each other's, sister hearts and souls to each other. I mean, it's my greatest joy to juice another, being's heart and soul and true nature and essence and reflect it to them. Like there's such a light up in me, around that. Like, for example, a mutual friend that we have, and I know the relationship, trials, tribulations, dramas, traumas. I watched her absolute devastation, heartbreak, confusion. I mean, so many things I've been through as well in relationships. And then to watch this man show up in her life that was everything and more. And then, to have everything that she had been calling in begin to show up.
Yeah.
And that becomes a celebration. I mean, I'm solo and I would love, love, love to have, my beloved by my side. That is very much a part of my juicy dream right now. And I know it's being realized as we speak. And so
Yeah.
when another sister, calls that in and it shows up in her physical reality, maybe a past iteration of me might have been like, where's mine? Where's my
Right,
man,
right.
right? What about me? It's not like that anymore. And that's the growth, that's the evolution, that's the maturing of us as a collective species, really. So, and it's a joy, right? Isn't it?
Yeah. It is such a joy. And it's such a beautiful thing to be menopausal and a wise woman because I
Mm.
realize, and I remember my mother saying this, that we are so driven by our hormones for so long, right?
Mm.
And we think there's something wrong with us because we are in a cycle of emotional, it almost feels like a roller coaster wherever we are in our
Oh,
moon
yeah.
cycle, right?
I
Where it's like we
remember.
ebb and we flow and we're like, what's wrong? And why
Oh
today
my
did I wake up?
God.
And this has a lot to do with the fact that we aren't gathering as sisters. We're not following the moon cycles as
Yeah.
we used to do as sisterhood and
True.
tribes. So we're
Yeah.
kind of lost. So
Yeah, our
what I,
biorhythms have been
yeah,
off, and our
exactly.
relationship with the earth and essence, true
Yeah.
nature. So yeah, it's a return to nature right now,
Yeah.
really.
And I think as we wake up and return to that part of it,
Yeah.
and give ourselves like had I known this then, I would have during the cycle of my moon, I would have taken
Oh,
that week off. I would
oh,
create a life where
yeah.
I honored that emotionality, that openness, that
Mhm.
vulnerability that time, that week in the moon cycle offers.
Yeah.
And then I would have created sisterhood around me that could
I
say,
know.
let's nourish each other.
Exactly.
Let's put into all that we've given out. Let's put into ourselves. Let's
Mm.
return home into the center of our being. And
Mm.
and I truly believe this. Even though we are menopausal, we still cycle with the moon because
Yeah.
we are moon sisters.
Mm.
And give myself, like I can tell when I'm in where that period would be, which is right now for me, by the way.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
because I'll wake up and I'll go, ooh, I'm feeling a little more sensitive. I'm feeling a little bit more introspective
Yeah.
and go, oh, I know where I am. And I'll look at the calendar and say, yeah, this is where I am. And I can do
Mm.
that. It's never too late in this lifetime, you
I
know.
agree. I agree. I mean, I love that so much. I think of, gosh, especially towards the end, I didn't even realize where I was tracking in terms of being perimenopausal or menopausal. I was so oblivious to the cycles early on, from the very beginning to the very end. It always felt like a challenge. It always felt like an inconvenience. It always felt like a problem. And
Yeah.
and then on the other side of it, I've been out, I think it's been about 3 or 4 years now since I've had my period. And I thought, oh my God, I miss it. And oh my God, I would do it so differently now, just like you said, to have a circle of women where we get to be insular in those moments and
Yeah.
and tender and feeling everything we're feeling, and yet completely held and nourished by the sisterhood, and just say, hey, this is what's going on for me. And I bet you like probably 90% of the other women would be like, oh my gosh, I know that so well, and then you don't feel alone in it. I remember I would feel so, and in my past relationship, it was like I was a volcano. And it would come, period moon cycle time. And I would just, a few days before, I would explode. And I'd be so embarrassed and ashamed and apologetic. And I didn't know all of the hormones that were coursing through my veins. That,
Yeah.
again, a circle and sisterhood would be
Right.
so wise in its wisdom. and just say, yeah,
Well, having a daughter and going through this with her,
mm,
um, I'm able to kind of teach what I didn't get
yeah, that's
um,
beautiful.
around watching and observing her emotional, same thing, that volcanic, what's
Oh,
wrong with me?
right.
And it's
That's
like
how I would feel.
there's
Oh my
nothing wrong
God.
with you. What's wrong
Right.
is that we don't have a red tent, if you will,
Yeah.
to gather in and get nourished by our
Yeah.
community of sisters, where
Mm,
that's really what's needed. Like, I need to go in, I need to kind of cocoon, I need to drink
mm,
tea, I need to
yeah.
journal, I need to check
Mm,
out and then check
mm,
in. I
yeah.
need to check in. There's nothing wrong. I just need to listen
Exactly. So
and give
much
myself permission.
passion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
much
that's really what I
passion.
share with her and all the young women is
Mm,
like we're in a male dominated paradigm right now, and we have been for a really long time where the patriarchy we've gotten caught up in as
mm,
women.
mm-hmm.
And
Oh yeah.
it's not our nature
Mm,
to be like men with our power. It's very
mm.
powerful to sit in our sovereignty and feel.
Yeah, it is. It really, is. I mean, yeah, and what you were sharing too, I think back to the times where I was in corporate. I was in corporate for about 25 years and had my own public relations and marketing business. And I would show up at the meetings and I would just be I'd be so drained and exhausted. And I would push and I would push and I would push myself. And then started my coaching and mentoring business. And I remember I would have my cycle and I would again just feel so depleted, but I know I have to show up for this other person, but I wasn't really showing up for myself, right? And so yeah, it's a beautiful thing to allow ourselves to be held and to be nourished.
Yeah. Yeah. And it really is will I allow myself to be seen
Mm,
authentically as I
yeah.
am, wherever I am?
Yeah.
I've learned so much in this relationship with you
Mm,
because you have given me so much permission to just be myself. And I thank you so
mm.
much.
No.
And it's so easy because you're so authentically loving,
Mm, mm,
to have a friend that is so, girl, you can be however you want to be. I love
mm.
you no matter
Yeah,
what,
it's true. It's
you
how I
know,
feel.
and that's
Yeah.
my nature as well. Like,
Yeah.
you can show up ugly, you can show up a mess. I am right here with you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And to be a model for that, because I know how deeply that wound has been felt for me, that I'm grateful
Yeah.
I had a mom that even though she was a tough bitch, right? She had to be a tough bitch to be a single mother in the world and take care of, and
Mama
protect,
bear.
right?
Mama
Um,
bear.
she would bring her vulnerability to me. Like, I think I was the only person that she could really relax with. I mean, she had said
Mm.
that. She's like, the only person I really trust is you.
Wow.
And it was an honor, and it was also very tragic, and it was very hard to hold that as her daughter, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Like, Mom, I really wish you had others besides just me,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And um, so I would watch her relationships, just crash and burn,
Mm.
and and these pseudo relationships that I mean, she had a lot of friends,
Mm.
uh, but the types of friends were really interesting. They were more mm, antagonistic, right?
Mm.
Women that
Mm.
are competing with one another. They're
Mm-hmm.
not really
Right.
like two insecure beings coming together
Yeah.
and calling it a friendship. And there's so much competitive,
Mm.
and there would be moments of vulnerability, yes.
Mm.
And then there would be like judgment,
Right.
right? And then gossip. and then
Mm,
judgment and then hurt. And like
mm.
it was such a push and pull, and I'm so over it. You know,
Yeah.
like I must say that this is the first relationship I've ever had with you where I don't feel
Mm,
that at all, right? And I remember you saying that, true love is not about having to set boundaries.
yeah.
And I like it lives in me. I'm like, okay, thank you. That's my guardrail in the sense of if I feel that I have to put up a wall,
Right.
then intuitively this is not alignment,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing that with me. I'm
Yeah.
completely honored. And,
Yeah.
I think it really is so much as we begin to wrap up already. Like, I feel like
Yeah,
I
I
could
know,
just
right?
talk to you forever, of course. And so I think it's so much, yes, there's been so much wounding. I could speak to the wounding as well in sisterhood. And yet these are the relationships where we get to repair that, right? And go to the next level together and creating the safe and sacred space. And everything and anything in my book is absolutely welcomed within our friendship and with anybody that's in my life. Like, bring it. I love honesty. I love transparency and I love vulnerability. And I realize where I have withheld so much of that for myself in past relationship dynamics, whether it was partnership, romantic, or whether it was friendship. So now it's like, such a beautiful playground, right? To be able to lean in together and to be this together. I was going to say practice, but really we're not like we're really being this together in
Yeah.
real life. And so it is a great honor and joy and wow, what a journey we've taken here together in this last and all of
Mhm.
us together, in this
I
last
know.
hour.
Yeah. It's so important, I think, to leave us with a practice for this week is
Yeah,
mm,
what's the juicy play? What's the
the
juicy
ju the
play?
juice the juicy play. Let's see, what would it be, Melissa?
Mhm.
Hmm. Talking about authenticity
Mm,
and vulnerability.
mm. I'm just getting maybe, and I'd love to hear what you have to say. I'm getting, maybe if you do have something that's up for you, because so many of us do right now because of the pressure cooker that this world's in, and maybe we are in our personal life as well. So maybe it is phoning a sister, a friend, and just saying, "Hey, there's something I'm feeling really deeply. Will you be willing to hold the space for me and just let me express it so I don't have to stuff it or suppress it?"
Yeah,
So it can
yeah,
be set free into love, into light.
yeah. And also, it's okay for us. I mean, we are teachers, we're navigators of this beautiful feminine expression, this yin energy, this loving, devotional, emotional, empathic, compassion, feeling frequency, which is such a beautiful gift. And
Yes.
sometimes we can be like you have been for me, we can be the model for our sister and we can say what we need. Like, hey,
Mm.
what
Yeah.
is really needed right now is can you just listen?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I
I love
just need
that.
you to listen without judgment. And we can
Yeah.
teach that to each other.
Yeah.
And I always say, it's important to know what you need and then ask for it. And that's a
Mm.
vulnerability, but it's also taking responsibility. Like, hey, I have some unwinding to do right now, and I really would like a witness.
Yeah,
I'm not expecting you to
exactly.
fix it
That's right.
because I'm not broken, but
Right.
I would really love your attention and your loving compassion, and for you just to be the holding container for me to just let it unroll.
That's right. And thinking about like when we're going to bed at night, right? I mean, just imagine that scenario where you just let it roll, you let it out, you set it free, and then you go to bed and you sleep peacefully versus holding it in and then
Yes,
you're tossing and turning all night. It's like it's night and day, like
exactly. Yeah.
so yeah, such a beautiful invitation. I
Yeah.
love that.
So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you have a whole opportunity to do that and juice each day with this
Mm,
loving fullness that you are already, that you are
yes.
responsible being, you are capable, you are juicy, you
Mm,
are inviting all the love that you are to come forward as you in its fruit and its
Mm,
deliciousness, and to be
yes.
seen in this magnificent world because we are all needing to witness this juicy life together. So
Yeah.
that is my invitation, my invocation, and my blessing.
And so
So,
it is.
and
I
so
love
it
it. I mean, I
is.
say yes.
Yes, yes, yes. And just
Um,
live out the juiciness in each and every breath that you take. And until next time, stay juicy.
aloha.
Aloha. I thought we'd open with